So, while I don't have my AFR gauge hooked up, I at least have somewhat of an idea how rich my car runs. Alright, so I just got my order signed and my DD214, so I am now free to go home. And see, I don't know if I've said this at all on my channel or anything, but the way I'm getting both cars home, my RX7 and my RX8, the soldier will be driving this car. I've kind of given him a crash course in how to treat and drive a rotary, and of course I'll be driving the RX7 because I'm the only one that can do that. But right now we're gonna go stop at the gas station, fill up, and then change, and then we'll be on our way back to Utah. All right, so we're on the road, and well, I'm driving behind my own car right now. I have to say, it's a really weird fucking feeling driving behind your own car. But I'm jealous that I'm not driving my RX8 because it's definitely more road trip friendly. Has AC, has working heater. Of course, you don't need heater for this kind of trip. But yeah, no AC in this car, no anything. It's just an engine, a trans, and some wheels, and a body. Yeah, I'll show you. So yeah, there's my car being driven in front of me, and I get to see that for the next 1,000 miles or so. I want to say that that trip's going to take about anywhere from 10 to 13 hours, depends on what our average speed is. Let's see, I think we're going to be going about 80 or so average, so somewhere like 11, 12 hours or something like that. If we drive all the way through, we're not decided yet on if we're going to stop in Gallup and stay there overnight, or just drive all the way straight through to Utah. But we'll see when we get there how either of us are doing for fatigue. And yeah. So we're not really too far into our trip, but I am noticing a little bit of a difference in fuel economy. Now, while I've been down here, I really haven't driven the highway a whole lot. Mostly just city, just getting to and from work and whatever. But yeah, it seems like immediately when I got down here, like on the way down here, I got like 35 miles a gallon. And that was the max I got. I got it anywhere between 25 to 35, which was insane. But let's see, I'm back in Utah, in the city, and mixed highway city. I got like low 20s, high teens on average. And then when I got down here, I got like 10 to 15 miles per gallon, if I was lucky. The lowest I got was like 10 miles per gallon. And I got 17 once, but other than that, it was just 10 to 15, somewhere between there. And the RX8 was getting that too. I filled it up like, I think 3 times since I've gotten it. And every time I calculated it out, it was 12, I think 13 one time. I think it was almost 13, but it was about 12. But yeah, I don't know if it's just like the with the elevation or the climate or whatever. But yeah, it seems like rotaries just get absolute shit for fuel economy down here, fuel injected or carbureted. But now, just looking at this, I'm at 34.2 miles since filling up the gas station. And oh, I'll show you what I'm saying. So from full to half, that's about 6 gallons. My fuel gauge is a little bit off, but it's averaging about 6 gallons from full to half. And going based off this, I think I've used about 1 gallon of fuel. We're gonna go about 150 miles before our next fill up. So in about 115 miles, we'll calculate this out and see what I get. Okay, so at this point I don't really know what we're exactly doing. GPS is taking us kind of all over the place. He's using Google Maps and I'm using this Garmin thing. And I mean, we're going everywhere it tells us to go, but we didn't take this route at all coming down here, so I don't know why we're taking this route going out. But whatever. We'll get there when we get there, I guess. All right, so I guess our first stop is Border Patrol. I don't know why they have it so far up here, but yeah, here it is. There she be. Hope they don't deport me. Oh no. So we got a surprise friend, Jesse buddy. Okay, so we're at our first fuel stop, and so far we've gone 140 miles almost exactly. The RX7 got 5.2 gallons, and the RX8 5.5 gallons. So they're almost about dead even. Let's see, both have a premix in them now. Well, they always did, but both are fueled, and well, this one's finishing filling premix, and we're about to get back on the road. All right, well, I don't need anything else from here, so we're gonna get back on the road now. All right, so just stopped for a pit stop, and both cars are doing great. Doesn't seem to be any problems. You notice any problems at all, or everything's fine? Or
the only issues I've got are my back problems.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like their cars.
I love them, but God, man. Oh.
Yeah, both cars are doing just fine. All right, so just stopped again for fuel. See, my speedo says 146 miles, and let's see, use 5.8 gallons, so almost 6 gallons, and not doing too bad. Doing a hell of a lot better than it did just city driving in El Paso, that's for sure. But yeah, re-upped on water, and we're gonna get back on the road. Okay, so we stopped at another gas station, but we didn't really need to stop for fuel. We're filling up anyway while we're here. But yeah, ran into some vapor lock issues. So on our first trip when we came down here, I had the same issues with vapor locking, so I had to pull over to the side of the road, let it cool down. And next town, I put this insulation on, just picked it up from O'Reilly's. But yeah, I just had the issue now. I think it might be because the rest of this line back here is still exposed and not just right here. But we're gonna let it cool down for a bit and then fill up and we'll get going again. We should be about less than an hour away from Gallup, which is where we're going. And yeah, we're probably just gonna meet everybody there, and from there we'll decide if we're just gonna keep going or not. Because if we do, we'll be driving at night, and well, the car will do just perfect that way. Because it's the heat that's getting to it, is all. It's not really hot out, but you know, we're constantly running and in the sun. I don't know, that's just my theory, but car problems, I guess. Okay, so this round we went 3.495 gallons to 85 miles. Not bad. All right, so we made it to Gallup. We're just gonna eat at Denny's and then get back on the road shortly after. The RX7 did fine. No more vapor locking issues that I can tell. But it's getting a lot cooler, so we're just gonna push on through the night because it should do a lot better and not vapor lock.
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah. And he's loving the car, still hating the Recaros though. Anyway, we're gonna eat and then go get gas and be on our way. Alright, just got done eating and we stopped at the gas station just to fill up so we can go another 150 or whatever miles. But anyway, this fill up was 3.2 gallons and miles 85 again. And then the RX8's doing about the same. So yeah, not doing too bad on fuel economy. So yeah, and we're gonna get on the road now. Okay, so we're back on the road now, and it feels a hell of a lot more comfortable to be driving at night. This is actually my favorite conditions to be driving in, just drive at night. Mostly because it's more relaxing than anything. I don't have sun glaring in my eyes the entire time. When I first started driving, it wasn't too bad, but then the sun started setting and it was directly in front of us, couldn't see shit, even with sunglasses on. So, yeah, no more issues with that. See, I am starting to notice an issue with this car, though. I believe it's the rear, one or both of the hubs on the rear axle. I think those are starting to go because I balanced all four of these wheels. They all zeroed out, but the exact same issue with the RX8 where I had to replace that hub and knuckle. It's having that road noise at various speeds, but when we get up to like 60 to 80 miles an hour, it goes away. So a little sketchy, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll figure it out when I get home, but it should make it home just fine. I just hope the tread on my tires doesn't go all uneven and shit from that. Okay, well, we made it to wherever the fuck we are, and let's see, this fill up was 5.447, and the miles traveled 139. Still doing pretty decently. And the RX8's about, well, same amount of miles, just a little bit less fuel used. God fucking damn, it's cold. Yeah, it's really fucking cold. I was really happy that it wasn't like hot as balls anymore, but yeah, I kind of miss that now. God fucking damn, get back in here. Warmth and insulation. Okay, I think we got like 350, 300 something miles left to go. So we're getting there. We'll be there, and it says we should be there by like 4 a.m., but I don't know how long it's really gonna take. But I'll keep you updated throughout this video. Okay, so we made it to Moab, and both cars are still doing just fine. Let's take a look at this wheel. I'm hearing all the road noise coming from this wheel. Oh shit, it's almost touching right there. Shit. Okay. Anyway, so for the RX7, I got 5.745. And for the RX8, 5.249. That is in, what is that? 143 miles. Okay, so we're leaving Moab now. We're still in Moab, but you know what I mean. We're leaving it, and yeah, this hub bearing's getting worse, guys. I'm gonna die. Oh no. So it's just getting noticeably worse. I thought part of the tire shredded off because at some point I started hearing like a whooshing noise, like it was carrying something on the wheel. I thought it was a piece of the tire, but when we stopped, there was nothing. The tire was fine, but it's obviously making a lot of road noise, and it is definitely this wheel. We got about 230 something miles left to go, and you know, just hoping and praying that we make it. When I get home, this car's getting parked, and that is getting fixed, and I'm not driving it until that happens. So my RX8 will be my primary daily for a little bit. Okay, so this round we got 5.3 gallons, and over there where the RX8 filled up, 5.6. In what is it? 123 miles. Probably.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. So this trip has been sketchy. Through the second half. First, what happens is before we hit the gas station previous to this one, we encounter pretty much a drunk semi-truck driver. Yeah, that was sketchy as hell, because he was swerving back and forth, and conveniently enough, the gas station had like 5 or 6 cops there, and yeah.
They didn't do anything, but they were there.
Yeah, true. Then after that, then we move forward into another weird part where we're leaving this town, and then we get on the next exit towards this road pretty much. And I didn't know it merged. You saw it. It was great.
Were you talking about when you almost hit the rabbit?
Yeah, when I had no idea. I didn't see signs, I didn't see any paint on the ground saying, hey, this freaking lane merges. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I thought you were talking about the rabbit.
Oh, that hold on. The freaking deer comes. I can't remember exactly the order of all this.
Oh, the deer came? Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to honk at it, thinking I was gonna hit it, so I had to swerve out of the way at 65 miles an hour. And then the fucking bunny were flying at like the speed limit, 80 miles an hour. Just screaming.
Yeah, it was pretty sketchy. We're both pretty fucking tired by now too. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. All right. This should be our last fill up before we get back into Salt Lake. I don't know if we're gonna stop again for fuel or not, but we should be able to make it just fine because we have, what was it, 120, like 120 something miles.
We were driving for about an hour.
Yeah, so I think it was 128 miles, so it should be perfectly fine. Yeah, right when I get home, I'm going right to sleep. But
if he doesn't have to give my fat ass a ride home.
Yeah, I have to drop both my cars, or this car off, and then give him a ride back down to Salt Lake.
Murray, pretty much, but yeah.
Yeah, and then drive all the way back. So I probably got a couple more hours ahead of me. All right, enough blabbing and stuff. Let's get going. So made another stop that we weren't exactly anticipating. I was falling asleep. Like I was trying my hardest to not fall asleep. I was swerving all over the road and it just wasn't good. So and he has to piss. I have to piss. I'm just fucking beat. We're like less than 50 miles away from Salt Lake right now. And trying to hold out. I'm gonna go in that half right now and get some food, and well, hopefully that gives us some energy. I'm gonna stop running now, or blabbing, or whatever the fuck I'm doing right now. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Oh, thank God.
See you in a bit. Okay, so back on the road. I feel very, very much awake again. So now we're on our way to his house to drop his shit off, and then we're gonna go to my house to drop this car off, and then I'm gonna bring it back to his house in the RX8, and then I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm gonna sleep for I don't know how fucking long, because I'm fucking tired. Even though I'm fucking wide awake right now, I'm gonna, at some point, I'm gonna just crash and pass out. And I do not want that to happen while I'm driving, because it will happen, because it has happened once before, a long, long time ago when I had my Mazda 3. It was not a fun day. Don't do that. Anyway, what else? I think that's it. So I'll see you in a minute. Alright, just finishing dropping off his shit, then heading up to my house, and then heading back down here to drop him off, and then back to my house again. Almost there. Alright, so RX7 successfully made it. Limping, but it made it. Let's see, now we can go drop him off. I'm gonna ride passenger on the way back, or on the way down, because I'm gonna get whatever sleep I can get, and then drive back up here, and, well, sleep for however long I sleep. Bitch. Alright, made it back home, and I did not die. So, that's good news. But, anyway, trip wasn't bad overall. Just really, really tiring and, tolling. Oh, my cruise is on. Yeah, fuck you, go away. Let's see, neither cars really had any major issues at all. The RX7 had, vapor lock issues, but that's the only I guess engine related issue that either car had. RX8 did flawlessly the whole way through, and still running, driving perfectly fine. Hot starts, cold starts, perfectly fine still. Well, I don't know about cold starts because it hasn't gotten cold yet, but I'd be surprised if it had any issues cold starting now. But filled up before coming back up here, and hot starts perfectly fine, so that's fine there. I am now at 132,363 miles on this car. The engine is not exactly 100% confirmed, but according to Mazda, Rudolph Mazda of El Paso, where this car is mostly serviced, they have the most records there. They can't see any engine replacement services or anything relating to that in their records, so it's possible this is an original Renesis. Who knows? I don't know. But it drives great. Very happy with it, and very excited for future projects from here on this car that you guys will be seeing a lot of in the next coming weeks and months and stuff like that. As far as the RX7, I'm going to check out the hub that I believe is bad, and go from there. But for the time being, this is going to be my primary daily until I get that resolved, and figure that out from there. But it's getting pretty cold up here, so it's looking like this is going to be my main primary daily, because it has a working heater and the RX7 doesn't yet. Anyway, see, I know that these road trip videos aren't really the most entertaining or interesting to watch. If you got this far in the video, then thanks for watching. If you have any constructive criticism, I mixing up my words. If you have any constructive criticism you can give me, or how I can improve on my videos, really appreciate it if you leave it in the comments. Other than that, you know, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, which is just my name, Nate Rist, and my Instagram, which is @6tally0. Yeah, that's all I got. See ya. Time to go surprise the baby squirrels. Alright, we're here. Let's go surprise her.
Daddy! I miss you. That's one. You're dead.
Hi, boo-boos.
Too cute.
Yay. Can we go home?